Have you ever noticed how random people are suddenly going viral on Twitch? One week they've got 10 viewers and the next they're pulling 20,000. No brand deals, no fancy setup, just pure chaos and
My
personality.
PCs, as you can tell, they're being held up by books as well. And yeah, chat. That's essentially
What's actually happening here? Why does it feel like Twitch fame has become unpredictable? Alright, let's talk about it, because the streaming world is changing faster than ever, and the next big name might literally be someone you've never heard of. So here's the thing, Twitch used to feel like a gated community. You had the legends, Ninja, Pokimane, XQC, Shroud, and everyone else was just grinding in the shadows, hoping to be noticed. But now, the playing field feels wide open. And that's not luck, it's a mix of timing, personality, and something way deeper in how audiences consume content today. Let's break it down. It wasn't about fame, it was about grinding. You had to put in crazy hours just to build an audience.
GP Hustler. I've been streaming 24/7 on Twitch now for about 2,100 hours.
Ninja streamed for years before Fortnite turned him into a global icon. XQC built his reputation by being insanely good at Overwatch and having that unpredictable, wild energy that made his streams feel like controlled chaos. Pokimane was consistent, funny, and charismatic. She built a loyal audience long before streamer became a mainstream word. These people didn't blow up overnight. It took them time, like real time. The algorithm didn't push them. Twitch's discovery tools were terrible, and clips weren't going viral on TikTok yet. If you wanted to make it back then, you had to be live every single day and hope someone stumbled onto your stream.
I spent 365 consecutive streams streaming to an audience of one viewer, okay?
But that world doesn't exist anymore. Today, you don't have to grind for years. You just need one clip, one moment that hits the algorithm the right way, and suddenly you're everywhere. So what changed? The short answer, content left Twitch. What I mean is, people stopped discovering streamers on Twitch itself. They started finding them on other platforms, mainly TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and Twitter. You see, Twitch is great for live interaction.
all right, ban my dad. Get him out of here! Yeah, you're done, Dad.
But terrible for discovery. If you're not already famous, no one's seeing you. But TikTok and YouTube, they don't care how many followers you have. They care about whether your content grabs attention in the first 2 seconds. That's how someone like Jinxie went from a regular Rainbow Six player to one of the biggest streamers on the platform. His chaotic energy, constant screaming, and hilarious reactions made for perfect short clips. People who had no clue what Rainbow Six even was started following him just because of his energy. And Casio, he's the definition of a random blow-up. No crazy editing, no million-dollar setup, just raw personality. His humor feels real, his streams feel unscripted, and that authenticity hits hard. He's not trying to act like a professional entertainer, he's just being himself, and the internet loves that. Then there's Kai Kennap. Kai didn't start on Twitch. He came up on YouTube and Instagram making funny skits, and when he switched to live streaming, he already knew how to capture attention fast. His streams feel like non-stop energy, constant reactions, music, chaos, and emotion, and that's exactly the kind of content that dominates short-form platforms. All three of these guys proved the same thing. Twitch fame doesn't start on Twitch anymore. It starts where people scroll. But it's not just the algorithm that's changed. The audience has changed too. Viewers today don't care about perfect production or pro-level gameplay. They care about personality. They want someone who feels real, someone they could see themselves hanging out with. 10 years ago, the top streamers were gamers. Today, they're characters. Think about it. Kai, Jinxie, Casio. They're not selling skill, they're selling moments. The way they yell at chat, the weird stuff that happens on stream, the inside jokes, the chaos, that's what people tune in for. The meta has shifted from gameplay to entertainment. And entertainment in this era means being raw, fast, and unpredictable. It's not about who's the best at a game anymore. It's about who makes you laugh, who makes you feel something, who makes you want to share that clip with a friend. And that's where the randomness comes in. Because the internet doesn't care who you are, it only cares whether you're interesting right now. But there's also a problem with this new world, and it's one that's making fame feel more fragile than ever. When anyone can blow up overnight, that means anyone can also fall off overnight. The same algorithm that lifts you up can bury you the next week. You've probably seen it. A streamer goes viral, gains 100,000 followers in a month, and then suddenly disappears. Not because they did something wrong, but because the internet moved on. That's the dark side of this new system. Attention doesn't last. People scroll fast, they get bored faster, and the moment your content feels repetitive, you're done. Older streamers had time to build loyal communities. They didn't rely on algorithms, they relied on connection. Today's new wave of creators, they rely on momentum. And once that momentum dies, it's hard to get it back. So now the real question becomes, how do these random streamers actually stay famous once they blow up? Well, the smart ones turn their virality into community. Kai Kenat built AMP, a group of friends who make content together. Jinxie started doing more personal streams, letting viewers see his life beyond Rainbow Six. Casio interacts constantly with chat, turning them into part of the joke instead of just viewers. That's the difference between short-term fame and long-term impact. Clips might make you viral, but community makes you relevant, and that's what separates the streamers who last from the ones who fade. Now, let's dig into the deeper reason behind all of this, because there's something psychological happening too. Viewers are burned out. They've spent years watching the same streamers doing the same things, the same games, the same reactions, the same setups. People want new energy. They want to see someone blow up out of nowhere because it feels exciting again. It reminds them that the internet is still wild, that fame can come from literally anywhere. It's that underdog story that hooks people. When someone like Casio suddenly explodes, it feels earned. It feels like we, as viewers, discovered him before the rest of the world did. That connection, that feeling of being part of a streamer's rise, it's powerful, and it's what keeps Twitch alive. Because as much as people say Twitch is dying, it's actually more alive than ever. It's just changing, becoming less about polished personalities and more about real humans being chaotic online. That's what keeps people watching. That's what creates viral moments. Now, let's talk about the turning point, the climax of this whole shift. It all comes down to this. Twitch isn't about streaming anymore. It's about storytelling. Every viral streamer you see, whether it's Kai hosting insane events, Jinxie raging at his game, or Casio just cracking jokes with chat, they're all telling a story of unpredictability, of growth, of chaos. And the viewers, they're not just watching, they're participating in it. Every dono, every comment, every moment of hype is part of the narrative. That's why live content hits harder than anything pre-recorded. It's real-time entertainment. You never know what's going to happen next, and that's addictive. So, when someone asks, how did this random streamer blow up? The answer isn't luck. It's timing, personality, and the ability to turn moments into stories. Now, here's where things get really interesting, because we're entering a brand new phase for Twitch and streaming in general. We've hit the point where everyone wants to be a streamer. Cameras are cheaper, internet's faster, and platforms are easier to use. There's no barrier to entry anymore, but that also means the competition is insane. So how do you stand out in a world where anyone can go live? Here's the truth. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just need to be more real than everyone else, because people can tell when you're faking it. That's why the most viral moments aren't perfectly scripted. They're real reactions, real chaos, real emotion. Someone tripping midstream, breaking something, laughing uncontrollably, saying something hilarious off the cuff. Those moments hit because they're not planned, and Twitch, more than any other platform, rewards that kind of authenticity. But the rise of these new, random streamers also exposes something else, something bigger than Twitch itself. The way we define talent online has changed. It used to be about being the best gamer, the best editor, the best entertainer. Now, it's about being the most relatable. The internet has flattened the idea of celebrity. People don't want distant idols anymore. They want people like them, someone with a messy room, bad lighting, and a genuine laugh. And that's why the random blow-ups keep happening, because the more real you are, the more viral you become. So what does this mean for the future of streaming? It means that Twitch and content creation as a whole is becoming a mirror of the internet itself, chaotic, random, and full of opportunity. It means that the next superstar might not come from a big team or a pro background. It might be some college kid streaming from his dorm room, or a mom gaming after work, or a group of friends doing dumb stuff live. It means that you don't have to be special to go viral. You just have to be you. And honestly, that's kind of inspiring because it proves that the internet is still the one place where anyone can make it. Not by chasing perfection, but by leaning into imperfection. So, what's the takeaway here? Twitch has evolved from a platform for gamers to a stage for personalities. The gatekeepers are gone, algorithms have replaced old hierarchies, and audiences have shifted from wanting skill to craving connection. That's why random people are blowing up, because being real, messy, chaotic, unpredictable has become the new definition of entertainment. In the end, Twitch isn't dying, it's evolving. And the next big name? They're probably live right now, talking to 3 viewers, one of them being their mom, completely unaware that tomorrow the internet might just make them famous. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video and make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's next.